So let's do our 2024 wrap up. What do you think?
I am so excited to do my 2024.
So before we get this podcast started today, we want to give a quick shout out to Cheryl that supplied us with these amazing hoodies, Staying Alive with Coffee. They sent us these over on the TikTok shop and they're so comfortable.
Oh my God, it's so comfortable. I was telling you when I put it on, I'm so glad I have a short sleeve shirt on underneath. It's so soft. It's so comfy.
Yep.
And it fits great.
Yeah, we ordered larges, but they literally have so much space. I would say this is about a medium weight, not quite a lightweight. It's more like a medium weight.
It's right in the middle.
It's perfect. So if you want to get yours, head over to Lara Turns the Page on her show. I would say her, but my showcase, and you can get yours there. Now, on to the episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the Blush and Burn podcast. I'm Laura Eakin.
And I'm Manny Baxter.
And today we're doing our 2024 wrap up. It was an interesting year.
It was an interesting year. We are doing this a little bit later than we had planned to do it just because
we both were horrendously sick at the end of the year.
We got sick. But we both feel fantastic now.
So it's wonderful.
We're ready.
We're sinus infection done. We're pink eye done. We're whatever the garbage was living in our chest is done. It took us 2 weeks.
It was
hit 2 weeks of just being absolute garbage.
Yeah. It was just a really long vacation. And I don't know about you, but I love routine.
Sucked.
I don't want to love it, but I do. And so
Same.
the minute routine gets back in play, I'm like, oh, let's
nice.
get going. So 2024.
Now, normally within the realm of reading, we tend to do reading goals.
We do.
And you adjusted yours a couple times throughout the year.
I did adjust it a couple of times for a couple of reasons. One, I really over exaggerated what I thought I was going to do. I thought I could do 250 books in a year.
But to be fair, you started a job.
I did. I started doing some other things in life. So it kind of like cut back from my reading time.
I think you would have hit it if that hadn't have been the case.
I think you're probably right.
Because you got a job and then you were helping out.
Is that healthy? I'm not recommending it. I don't think it's healthy by any means, but I'm just saying that that's where I was at in life.
And so you cut your goal back to 200.
I did.
How close were you?
I got 196.
196. That's insane.
Laura says, maybe you should pop some novellas in there.
I did. I said, you
right
got
at the end. And
you have a day. You could read 4 novellas in a day. And she went,
it felt like cheating. I don't know.
That's
It just
cheating.
felt like cheating. I couldn't do it. But that's okay. I'm thrilled to 196. And and honestly, 2025 will not be anywhere close to that. It was just the timing of life.
I love it.
Yep.
My goal was 100.
Yours was?
And I hit 91. But I couldn't read when I was sick. It was so hard to focus. I was like, you know what? There's no way I can read like 1 novella a day. I can't do more than that. My brain just doesn't. I don't read fast. I'm not a speed reader. And the way that my brain consumes things when I am sick, it is a struggle.
I know. But even novellas, like I found that novellas, man, they are hit and miss.
Ooh,
right? Like novellas are like a hit and miss game. Like sometimes they hit just right and others they don't. And I am a firm believer that you can't tell by the reviews on a novella.
Nope.
So
no,
you can't.
No, you can't. We had some fun ones for our 12 days of naughty
on
novellas, but we learned our lesson. So I did count my novellas in my reading goal.
I did. But I counted my novellas.
But be that as it may. So how many 5-star reads did you give this year?
You say how many you did first, because I actually didn't write how many. Let me count.
10. I thought it was 10, and then I forgot. I couldn't remember. You know, like when you have like a hair. There it is.
Shirt? Get it. Oh, I'll get it. Let me get it.
Oh, blessed
it's
be.
like in there.
Good.
It was like,
it was so itchy. I was trying to ignore it. Sorry, guys. We're getting a little fresh on here.
Okay, what did you say?
I said 10.
You said 10. Okay. Which actually probably equates perfect to the amount of books you read.
Yeah.
Like according to mine, because I did 25.
That's not bad. I thought for sure I had less. I'm not going to lie.
I actually thought I had less too. And
I thought for sure.
But I feel like I got on like a couple streaks. Did you get on the streaks? Like all of a sudden it was like 5-star, 5-star. Like I read like a handful. It was like boom, 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 boom. And then I would be like on this dry spell.
No, I got my 5-star and then it was like really dry for a minute. And then I'd get a 5-star. Okay. And then it was really dry because it was like I would get the 5-star and then I'd end up in a hangover.
I know.
And that was hard. The Hangover was rough, man.
I'm getting better with The Hangover, I feel like.
I am too because it's like books. I don't know if they're just not hitting the same because we were talking about this too not too long ago when we were talking about spice. Yeah. But it's almost like we've been desensitized a little bit to certain things. Yeah. So I just feel like maybe books aren't hitting the way they used to, or maybe it's just like, not that it's not hitting.
No, but do
you understand what I'm getting at?
I think it's because we know that there's so much good stuff out there that you know you're going to find one that is going to make you just as happy. Yeah. Like, so I feel like my hangovers like aren't quite as bad as like they were when I just really started jumping into this reading.
Yeah, I would agree. But most of my 5-star reads are same as you.
Yeah, let's do those first.
Okay, so the ones that we both gave 5 stars to, and you just reread this one and you're giving it 5 stars, it's your 6-star read.
Okay, I think I actually only gave this, I looked back, I actually only gave this 4 stars. I know, but I told you 5 because in my head I was like 5, but I'm going to change it hands down, 100% all day long.
That's a 6-star read.
This is 5 stars.
Signs of Cupidity by Raven Kennedy.
Signs of Cupidity.
It's a 4-star series for me, but the first book hit just 5 stars straight across the board.
Here's the crazy thing about this book. It is hilarious.
It's so funny.
It is a good fucking time. And there is no on-page scenes at all.
Not in book 1.
It is all teasing and just fun.
I think I learned more words about genitalia in this book series.
Yeah, because they don't have a lot in book 1, but through the series,
she just calls like everybody's anatomy the funniest things, and it's so great.
It is the quippiest, wittiest, light-hearted, but serious when it needs to be serious.
It's so good.
But she is the funny. So it's about a Cupid, who is a Cupid who, actually, I don't even want to give spoilers.
Yeah, no. If you need a good like February read, it's like go read the Heart Hassle series.
I think it's the perfect February read, and I will say that once you read book 1, you will not stop. Nope. I did not realize the cliffhanger that it left us on. So
you forgot?
Yes, I
did.
Oh,
I remember.
No, I forgot, and I got to the end, and I was like, oh my God, that's the fucking end.
And you were like, I need book 2.
And I was like,
but you couldn't because you're screening right now for book club.
Yeah, I'm screening for all February possibilities.
So just know,
for poll,
you need to get on this one for February.
Love it.
It's gonna rock you. It's on Kindle Unlimited.
Love it.
Just go get it.
It's fantastic.
So that one.
We should probably plug in really quick. It's a Why Choose. The first book is not. There's no spice in it. But
right.
But as the series goes, the spice amps up.
Yes.
And it does become a Why Choose.
It does become a Why Choose.
It's a M. Nope.
No, it's not.
It is.
It is.
Oh my gosh! It's an F.
M.
It is. I'm so used to putting M's before. There are no M's before the F.
There are no M's. It is F, M,
nope,
and
right.
M. For ML.
That's great.
You're welcome. Okay. Anyway, so the next one that we both gave 5 stars to was the first 3 books of Red Rising.
Yeah.
Blown away.
Amazing.
I put this series off because I was like, and Ryan, my husband, was the one who convinced us to do it. And Annie promised him that she would read it. So I was like, fine, I'll read it.
He knew how much I love sci-fi. And I think he was like, I think he just knew that I was going to just eat this up.
Yeah. Yeah. So we both jumped into it. And it was like, okay, premise here. You need every word on the page in Pierce Brown. There is no fluff. And maybe you don't like necessarily need it, but it's necessary to the story. There's no fluff in these stories. No. And if it is, it's like this big. Is nothing. It's nothing because you are just rolling through this story.
Because he knows how to tell a story.
The beginning is slow. Of Red Rising, book 1, the beginning is slow.
It is so imperative.
So good.
It is so imperative to the rest of the series that you go through what happens in the very beginning of Red Rising. It sets the stage for the whole entire series, and I think you couldn't do it without it.
No, absolutely not.
The whole it was why the rest of the story exists. But he did it just so well, so clean, just
so good.
His writing is just good.
We're holding off on starting the last
I want
books
this last
because
book
we want
to
the
come
last book to be out.
I just know I'm gonna go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, we
boom,
want to be able to just like inhale it.
Agreed. I don't want to wait. We did that to the Raven Kennedy series, Guild, the Play to Prisoner series, and
then we were like, now what? So we stopped
at book
at Gold. 4. We made it through Gold. Nope, we made it through Gleam,
which is book 4,
right? Gold, Glint, Gleam,
because we still needed the last 2.
Glow. It was Gold and Goldfinch, and we waited because Gold was supposed to be Goldfinch. And she said it was too long, so she split it in 2. Yeah. And because of that, we were like, we're holding off.
I just couldn't do it.
I couldn't either. So we're waiting for Red Rising to be done to be able to consume the last portion of it.
Correct.
The next one that we both gave 5 stars is Flames of Chaos by Amelia Hutchins.
Hands down, one of the best, fun, dirty.
So dirty.
Epic. I mean, is it epic-y
fantasy?
Flames of Chaos is just, I think you told me to read it for a whole year.
I did. I tried to convince you to read it for a year.
It sitting in my Audible for a year, and I thought, what the hell?
I'm just going to jump in.
I'm just going to do it.
And within the first little bit, I got a phone call back, and she goes, why didn't I read this?
What did I just read? I kept going.
She just bought all the Audibles.
Boom, 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 and we did through all of them. They were fantastic. So good. I enjoyed the Audible. Did I read any of them?
No, we did them all in Audible.
Yeah, I think I did all of them in Audible.
We haven't done the most recent one, and the series is not finished
because we have a problem with cliffhangers, okay? It's dawning on me now as we're speaking.
We do have a problem with cliffhangers.
That one leaves it on a cliffhanger, and we stopped where we were felt like the story was in in
an okay
safe
spot.
Space a little bit. So then when we get going, we're waiting for the 6th book to come out. I think, and then we'll just
And we'll keep going.
I think we have a process.
We might.
Okay,
it's fine.
We have a process.
It's fine.
What else?
Those are the only ones that. Oh no, Riker by Emily Bates. Riker. This one has a trigger warning list. Check it. Actually, so does Flames of Chaos, but you need to check your list on that one. It's so good. Debut author. I was blown away with how amazing it was.
Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
contemporary mafia.
I would call it. I mean, I know there's mafia. I would almost call it like a dark mafia.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think I'd almost kind of maybe even just kind of push it into the dark, because there is a little bit of there's just a little bit of an edge to it,
which got the gore too, though. So it's got that gore factor.
It's got edge. There's some I mean, I don't want to give any really away, but there is some torture that is necessary to the story.
Yes.
But you just need to be able to, and it's not long, but it is in there. And I just think it's just like any other book. You need to check your triggers. If you don't like that, then, and it's so minimal and small. And I feel like I said it and it kind of puts it out there, but it's more just make sure you know what you can handle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we're also big advocates of that. So if you are reading something that makes you uncomfortable, stop. We just encourage everybody to stop. Stop. You can stop. You can DNF a book.
All day long.
Sometimes.
I know. It's hard to do it.
It's hard. But if it's something that makes you uncomfortable, if it makes me uncomfortable, I don't have a problem doing it. But if I'm just not enjoying the story, I have a hard time DNFing at that point.
Correct.
But, okay. The rest of my 5-star reads.
Go for it.
Mountains Made of Glass by Scarlett Sinclair.
Fantastic.
Loved it. Dragon Rider by Taryn Mathereau.
Haven't delved into that one yet.
I know you haven't. I loved it. I'm sitting on the line right now of whether or not it still is sitting with 5 stars in my head. I'm going to leave my rating. It might be the only one that I would have adjusted because now that the year has passed, I look back and I go, yeah, it was a good story, but was it 5 stars? So I tend to do that too. And then I read the first 2 books of the Stormlight Archive series, which was The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance.
You love them.
Graphic audio. If you do graphic audio, you need to do graphic audio on those. It's fantastic. I loved them. I loved them.
You did.
So much so.
I haven't delved in yet. It doesn't mean it won't happen. It's just not right now.
Yeah. Okay. What were your other 5 stars?
Okay. I love when people are like, this is in no particular order. It is in a particular order. It's from December to January.
We're moving backwards.
We're moving backwards because that's how Goodreads is when I was reading them off. Okay. I have Twisted Truths. This is by A.V. Archer.
She is a local to Utah, and we know her, and we love her.
One of my besties, and I fucking love her. And when she was like, I have a book, she about knocked me on my freaking feet, off my freaking feet, and it's probably one of the best billionaire romances I've ever read.
It's good.
The synopsis of it was great. I mean, you have a billionaire needs some PR help, and one of the girls from the PR team like steps in, and then the story takes off. It is fantastic. So I love it. The next one is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Love Robin Hobb. This is a crazy, slow, epic fantasy, but it's not slow at the same time.
This is the one that you keep trying to get me to read right now.
I'd love you to read it. It is a cool... the thing that happens is you become invested in the story, and so it's okay if it moves just a little bit. It's not even slow. It's just that you're there for more of like a day.
Gotcha.
A day. It's not like we're not jumping years or anything like that. Like we're
Okay.
literally kind of picking up and we're kind of moving. Every once in a while there'll be a little bit of time skipped, but
what age would you recommend for that?
That's a very great question.
Like a 13? Like, would my kids be able to listen in the car?
I actually think a 13-year-old could handle it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good thing.
I think a 13-year-old can handle it.
Beauty.
Okay, the next one, Lights Out. All book club has
ranted
to this
and
one.
raved about this. I haven't done it yet.
You haven't done it yet. You will love every second of it. It is a blast and a good fucking time. It is hilarious. It is so funny and witty, and the spice is just on point. You'll love it. It's so good. And every time someone reads it in book club, we everybody gives them the
standing ovation is really what it goes.
Well, we just love it.
What did you think?
That's because everybody's really enjoyed it. So, okay, second, Credence. Love it. Taboo. I know some people did not particularly care for this. I don't really give 2 flying fucks. I freaking loved Credence.
I'm jealous. I still haven't read that one either.
Loved it. And I've talked to people who've read it after me, knowing that I've read it, and we've talked about it, and they like it too. Look, as we will go on, I love Penelope Douglas, so it doesn't really matter. She could probably put anything out, and I would be like, yes, please. Metal Slinger. Metal Slinger is so good. I think I gave it like 1.5 peppers. It was not that spicy, but the tension was there. Fantasy. This was a debut novel as well, and it was awesome.
I'm excited to get into that one. That almost won January's book club book.
I wanted it to so bad.
But we were close.
I'm kind of hoping maybe some people will side quest it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's such a good book.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Pucking Sweet. Emily Rath. That's a polyamory. It's fantastic. Anathema. This is probably my number 1 book of the year. Hands down, Anathema, Carrie Lake. Dark, gothic, fantasy. Spice is on point. You have a amazing broody male that is just yummy. I really, really like that. I think eventually you'll probably read it.
I'm going to.
Right. Okay. I have Riker. Five Brothers. That's Penelope Douglas. She just tells a fantastic story. Sabotage by Chantel Tessier. I just liked it. Stepbrother.
I think we have a thing.
Let's plug that in. I really liked it. It's a shorter version of all the rest of them, which is probably even why I liked it even more, because it's like, here's a little taste.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. Red Rising. Seventh Circle by Tate James.
Was this the whole series?
This was a whole. I gave the first book 5 stars and I gave the rest of them 4. I like them when they're a little bit shorter, but I love this series. It was so much fun, and I just like Tate James. So
yeah.
Heavenbreaker, sci-fi, freaking awesome. I probably would put that really close to my top 5. I also did House of Sky and Breath and House of Earth and Blood. I loved the first 2 books in Crescent City. I hated the third. So, but
I'm in the same boat. Don't look at me. I'm in the same boat. In my least,
and I don't even know if we have to I mean, we could chat about it, but it's at the same time. It's like, I love the first 2 books in that series.
I did really enjoy them.
They were great. I was invested, and then was disappointed.
Yep.
I think is really what ends up.
That is listed on my worst ones too. Hofast.
Okay, we have the Umbra King. That was a duology. Fantastic. That's Jamie Applegate Hunter. Love that. Cupidity. Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. This was fun because it's a little bit different than some of her other books, but in Laura Thalassa style, she pulled out, and it was freaking fantastic. Flames of Chaos, we've already talked about. Pucking Around by Emily Rath. That's another polyamory story, and she just knows how to write polyamory. I've never read anyone who does it quite like she does, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And then I read the first 6 books of Zodiac Academy, and I just love Zodiac Academy.
And you gave all of them 5 stars.
I did. I think that the book 6 is probably not a 5. It's probably more like a 4. I think things slowly get a little bit repetitious for a little bit, and then you're kind of wanting the story to like get to where it needs to get to. Do you know what I mean? Because after 6 books, you're kind of like ready for it to like get where it needs to be, or kind of move into like
just shift.
Yeah. Shift, like move into a new section, like a new
it's like
story.
It doesn't shift. It didn't adjust.
Right. Okay. So there they are. 25. Done.
That's quite the hefty list.
I know. It's hard. Like when I start going over it, I feel like it's a decent list, but I also stand behind my personal 5 stars. I mean, they might not be someone else's, but it doesn't really
That's okay. But we have honorary mentions too.
Yeah. What are yours?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 honorary mentions.
Good. And I have 8.
Okay. So 9, if any of these are yours.
I have 1 novella that I really enjoyed.
Okay. So here are mine. Praise and Eyes on Me by Sarah Kate. Now, wait, hold on. Okay. We should say that these honorary mentions, they're the ones that stay with us, but we didn't rate them 5 stars. I might go back and reread these and give them a 5-star rating.
Well,
but I don't know where I sit on that.
It's also not like they're like masterpieces or anything, but there was something in them
that has stayed with us,
that kept you like thinking back on it.
Yeah, and keeps me going.
Eyes on Me, even Praise.
Right. Yep. Praise and Eyes on Me for me.
Crazy. I don't know why.
So good.
They're
so good.
Good.
I really enjoyed those. Really did. I can't wait to finish the series.
The first half of Praise is so fun.
It's so fun.
It's good.
I love how she just had no idea.
The first half of Eyes on Me is that good too.
It is. Sarah Kate, man, you got my heart, girl.
Good.
Got my heart.
Okay.
The Last Leviathan. Now, this is a shifter one. I read this as an ARC. I am going to put this out there for next year. I'm not an ARC reader. We've learned this. I'm not going to be signing up for ARCs next year. They overwhelm me because then I feel like I have to read it before they come out, and then I feel stressed.
Yeah.
So to save my own soul and self, I will not be doing that next year. But this one was a arc read, and I loved it. Loved it, loved it. It's the only arc read that I had last year that I actually completed that I loved. So
you did, Riker.
I didn't do it as an arc.
Oh, okay.
It was already out by the time I finished it.
Okay.
His to Ruin and Theirs to Destroy by Ashley Reyes. Oh my goodness. If you need a college bully romance, it is so good. It's MFMM. That changes to MMMF.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
It is.
It does. It shifts by the end of book 2. So good. I have rent-free moments. All the time from that series.
I read his
duology.
To Ruin, I think probably at the beginning of the year. I may have even read it the previous year.
I think you did.
And then you read and then you read it a little bit later. I feel like it was,
you know what it was? It was
new.
Christmas time, because we were on our trip, our yearly Christmas trip, and it popped up. No, it popped up on my Facebook, and it had like things like crossed out. And then I sent you the picture and I said, we need to find this book, because I screenshot it and sent it to you. And Mom was right there
and started reading it.
You did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready yet. I was in the middle of other things.
And I loved it so much. I got on the author's page and got a signed copy of it.
I know. You still need to get Theirs to Ruin.
Because I loved it so much.
So good.
It's intense. Like, you have to be able, like, it's intense.
Oh, yeah.
Triggers.
Check them.
No, I don't care. I thought it was fantastic.
I did too.
And it's like, it's not a big book. You probably
they're
have
small
it around somewhere, but
I don't have it down here.
It's small.
It's small.
It's just perfect.
It is really good.
And then it has Theirs to Ruin, and
it's same. So
just
good.
as good.
Just as small. But just as good.
Yep.
Onto the monster track. Morning Glory Milking Farm. Cozy Monster Romance. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. And then my last one is Bad Teacher by Clarissa Wilde.
So good.
It was so good.
So good.
Oh. Loved it.
I think we might attempt to go down the Clarissa Wilde.
I think we might.
Correct?
Because we've been talking about it because we want to read the Sick Boys series after that.
Yeah. And
so
I
think we're gonna like her.
I feel like I read something else by her. I have to think about that for a minute. That I really also enjoyed. We'll come back to that.
Okay. All right. So what are your honorary mentions?
Honorary mentions. Quicksilver.
I need to finish it.
I don't even think I have to like talk about that. I put it off for so long because I didn't want to get into the hype of it, and then finally I was like, I might as well just have my own opinion.
Yeah.
And some of the girls were talking about it at book club, and I was like, well, let's get the Audible. I'll plug it in and listen to it as I'm like, chilling and cleaning and crap. And I really liked it. And
you made it through really quick.
I'm also a Kingfisher girly. Like, I don't know.
I'm hoping to be.
I've made it.
I've made it to like chapter 6, but it was conflicting.
There anything absolutely fantastically mind-blowing? Probably not. But then at the same time, like, it was just done really well. Like,
it's a unique story from what I hear.
I really liked it. I thought the way it was put together was done well. So I liked it. Okay. Butcher and Blackbird. It's just a fucking good time. Funny. I liked it. At first, you're like, remember when I called you and I said, what do you call a book that is like so far-fetched that like
that's listed as contemporary?
And
it's
you were
listed
like
as contemporary, but you're like, this just can't be real.
Fiction? I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, okay, that's true.
I was like, Annie, it's fiction. That's the whole premise of fiction.
I know. I'm like, okay, I guess that's right. But
okay, fine.
But you understand what I meant.
Yes.
Like, it was like,
I did know what you meant.
It's like, it's so funny because it's so not realistic. And I think that as long as you go into it thinking that, like, you're just going to have a good time.
Yep.
It's like the minute you think that this is real, it's like watching Dexter. I'm not watching Dexter thinking this is real. Like,
yeah, no.
It's just fun.
It's just a good time.
The tension that is in it is just really good.
Yeah.
And I liked it. Okay. Taming Mr. Walker.
That one was good. I did like that one. That was billionaire brother's best friend.
Brother's best friend. I just really liked it.
It was also work though, wasn't it? Wasn't he her boss?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
It was good.
Workplace, billionaire.
I would possibly
brother's
read
best
that
friend.
again just because I thought it was so much, because I liked it.
Yeah, I would do it as a comfort read.
Yeah, I like it. Tristic's Venom. That's Penelope Douglas. Also, Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I want you to read Birthday Girl so bad because I know you're going to like it. This is Dad's father.
Dad's father?
Son's father.
Ex-boyfriend's father?
Well, they were exes. Yeah,
ex-boyfriend's dad?
father.
Yeah. Okay. When you say
Why
dad's father,
it feels like that came out like way messy.
It did. It did.
I know.
Dad's father means like grandpa.
It's
in his 70s down the road. Like, no, Anne. Wrong.
It's ex-boyfriend's dad.
Okay. That's much better. It does sound way more appropriate.
Yeah, it does. It totally does.
Even in taboo terms.
It does. It is fun.
Love it.
Eyes on Me. Flawless. That was fun, and I know you're gonna love that when you decide to go there. It is just a great rodeo cowboy meets city girl.
I love it.
It's fantastic.
I'm here for it.
And another Penelope Douglas, which is not surprising, Misconduct.
You went down the Penelope Douglas rabbit hole like full bore over the last year and a half.
Because I did the whole Devil's Night. The Devil's Night series, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to see what else that she has done. And so I kind of had done that. And then every time a new book has come out, like I've just snagged it and read it. I would really like to get into her. She has another bully series called Fall Boys, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Wrong. I could be wrong, but
I think that's what it is.
That's kind of like the next like rabbit hole of hers I would go down. So
nice. And last but not least is your little novella.
Oh, my little novella, Silent Night.
You loved that one.
I thought it was great. This is like kind of stalkerish, and I read a couple more books by this author. Her name was
M.L. Philpott.
M.L. Philpott.
I got you.
Thanks. I just
you forget every time.
I can remember the names of the books, but
authors are hard.
She did a it's called like Written Letters series, and I got through the first 2 books of those, and they were just really fun.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I love that.
She's great. She's does really good bully and really good stalker.
Yeah.
If that's what your thing is.
I dig it.
Yeah.
So that's 2024. What are your New Year's resolutions for 2025?
I'm doing I have a number.
I don't have a number.
We'll talk about yours. I'm going to do my goal is 150. I'm also not putting a lot of pressure on that because I am really just looking into having a good time and not feeling pressure into arcs as well. Mm-hmm. We did do a lot of arcs that led us down where we started feeling like really committed, and I think that we've decided that that's like not really like our route. We really read for like absolute enjoyment, and so
we do better when we mood read. So
yeah, I could be reading 4 books at the same time, and I'm just jumping in and out of them.
I'm reading that many right now, so and I jump in and out all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we are going to be as a whole. Like you and I, we're reading for enjoyment this year. Will we get sucked into the hype? I don't know. I really am hoping to not get sucked into the hype because it burned us way too many times this last year.
It did a few times.
And like some of my worst reads were because of the hype.
Agreed.
And I don't want to go through that again.
No, and I think then I think like like a couple of them I actually questioned myself because even I have one particular in my mind that I keep seeing being brought up again, and people are like, this is my favorite book, and it also just reminds me that it's okay that it's someone else's favorite book and it's just not mine, and it's okay that I didn't particularly care for the plot.
Now I know exactly which one you're talking about.
I'm there for the spice, but I'm not there for the plot. And I think that that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm also not going to talk down anybody that cares for a book like that either.
Nope.
Like, or not even like,
I'm never going to look at someone and judge them based off of the book that they read that I didn't enjoy. I think that's rude.
No.
And I think it's slimy.
Well, I think we've noticed, especially from just like book club, that we all really like different things. Like,
yeah.
I had a couple of girls who had read Credence and they didn't really love it. And they were a little bit younger. And I was like, well, maybe Credence has actually led to like maybe a little bit of an older... I mean, I actually don't really know. It could be. I don't know. All I'm saying is that it made me really, really wake up and be like, oh, even though I thought you were going to really like it and you didn't, I think like that's okay. Because you'll find something else that you like that's the same, or I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I agree. I agree though. Yeah. So those are yours.
My only goal is
is your goal, and then to read for enjoyment.
Also, my other goal, which I'm going to read for enjoyment of this, but I'm also like pre-reading everything that we're going to be doing for
book club
polls. Like that's the other goal, is just to really make sure like the books that we're putting out for poll are what we think is
will actually fit the group and the category.
Fit the group. So at least we know that at least one of those 4 for each, for a blush and for a burn, is going to be something that we think really fits with that.
Yeah, I think, I know what you're getting to. Yeah, okay. I understand. Cool. I appreciate you doing it because you do read faster than I do. And the idea of reading 8 books a month that are designated like that damn near will kill me.
But also, I mean, on the same note, is that we're putting stuff in there that we want to read.
Yes, we are. That's something that we're really focusing on.
We're not putting in polls like, ooh, this is really popular. Maybe this will be...
We did that. Good. And that's what burned us.
So it's kind of like we're just not...
So we're pre-reading.
We're pre-reading.
Yep. And that's the path that we're taking on that.
Yep.
So mine, yes, follow the mood, because that's more important to me than the hype. I am staying away from numbers as much as physically possible this year.
I think it's smart for you.
I love numbers, but last year I got so sucked in, and something happened in September that I could not read a word on a page. I read 2 books in September, and that is like unheard of for me. Yeah. My average is 8. So, well, give or take, anywhere from like 5 to 8. Yeah. But to get 2 in a month, I was like, what happened to me? And we were talking about this, and it happened to actually be a specific book that kind of threw me off. And then I was looking at my numbers, and then I went down a rabbit hole of numbers, and it just got really, really messy. So the moment I stopped looking at the numbers was when things actually got better. So my goal for next year is not to pay attention to the numbers, follow the mood, and really focus on the reading for book club, like you. Not just the pre-reading stuff, but like deliberate choices. Like, yes, I'm following for the mood, but I'm also doing deliberate choices and why I'm picking something versus why I'm not. So those are my 2025 goals.
That's it.
Yeah. This is really going to be a fun year because both of us have decided to dedicate so much to the podcast here.
Yeah.
And book club. We also have a website right now. Can I just say how excited I am about this?
Proud of you for pushing through.
It was like
and
death.
Getting through the bullshit and just...
I was ready to throw my computer against a wall.
And I think that it's very commendable that you didn't, and that you just kind of pushed through and you got through it. And what is there is amazing. When I looked at it on my phone, I pulled up, I'm like, oh my God, it's happening.
Listen, it may not be 100%, but that doesn't matter. It's up. It's there. It's going to grow. It's going to shift. It's going to adjust. And I'm okay with that. I'm just so happy that it's up. So you can put comments on the blog posts are going to be there. We're going to have all of our podcast episodes on there. And I'm going to divert a lot of my time and energy when I am not reading to that as a whole.
As me as well. And mine is going to mainly be trying to do like reviews.
Yeah. So Annie is going to be posting a lot more of the review stuff.
Yep.
I'll be doing more of like the podcast and other blog posts of things that we're doing, like right now with our Harry Potter read along. Woohoo! so excited about this, you guys.
I can't even.
Oh, the nostalgia.
The nostalgia and just the pure enjoyment. I had it on in my car when we went and got snacks today.
It was so
and Laura
good.
gets in and she is like, this is where I am. This is where I am. Jim Dale just like
we'll get into it. We have an episode coming up. It's in 2 episodes. So if you've made it this far in this episode, technically this is going to be what we consider episode 1. Episode 2 is an author interview with Paula Lafferty. That will be coming out next. Yeah. Which I'm super stoked about.
Listen, she was a good time.
She was a great time.
She was a good time.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do our episode number 3 will be our Harry Potter week 1 wrap up.
Yep.
And while we are filming that today, it's still going to be a little bit in the backlog. And then we'll have Harry Potter week 2 as episode 4.
Yep.
And I'm so excited to jump into these and to record these. I have so many thoughts. I never thought that I would write in a book, but I've been writing in this one.
I've been writing in a book, and I'm going to give a shout out to Corey here. Miss Savage. I feel you.
Now she gets it.
I get it.
Now she understands it.
I get it.
Yep.
I don't know. I had another book in my hand the other night, and I was tempted to write in it, and I thought, oh no, it's happening. And
Are you feeling okay?
I think I'm okay with it.
Do we need to check your temperature?
Look, if this is going to be my own personal book,
that's true.
I'm kind of going maybe I get to do what I want with this book, and I get to if I reread, I want to remember what I felt like that time before.
Makes me hot just thinking about marking another book. I'm loving marking this one because there's a nostalgia to it, but marking another one, I'm like, ugh.
I love it.
Anyway.
I love it.
So 2025 has some amazing things. We're going to do in-depth book series reviews as well as individual reviews. We're going to have authors on. Blog is up. I can't wait for this year.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. And we have some fun things planned. So.
I hope you guys stick around. So make sure to subscribe, and we will be back very soon. Bye.